Today, our focus is our safety small controller, PNOZmulti. Some of you may have used this uh, controller before. Some of you might find it as a new product. Okay, so today's topic is what is news about the PNOZmulti Configurator. So the PNOZmulti Configurator is the software part, but before I continue to the software part, let's have a look a little bit about the hardware components. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. So a bit overview of the hardware components. Then we will look at the software part, have a little bit information about what is the new features with the new version. And then if we get a chance, we do a little bit of basic programming to show you how easy it is to use the PNOZmulti configurator to configure your safety small controller. Okay. Along the presentation, if you have any question, please feel free to use the Q&A form or put the question in chat. Grace will help monitoring all the questions, and then we can have a Q&A at the end of the session. Okay. So let's have a look at the hardware. So PNOZmulti 2, this is a second generation product, is the safety small controller. So it is something that you use for the safety function. It is between the safety relays capability and the safety PLC. So the safety small controller is the another option for you when you design your machine or when you want to improve the safety control system. This device, PNOZmulti, it can achieve up to the maximum performance level E, category 4, according to the standard ISO 13849-1, and CL3, according to the IEC 626. EIC 62061. Okay, our products, because we're going to use this for the safety function, and we want to make sure that our machine is safe. So our product is also certified by various organizations, CE, TUV, UKCA, and kosher. For some of the different countries, they have their own certification, so we also get those as well. So the safety small controller is very flexible. You can see from the picture right here. So you have one CPU unit. So one base unit, then you can expand the I/O or you can expand the communication along the main unit there. So it's very flexible. If you need more I/O, then you can add more. Okay, it's expandable. So what is the advantage? So if you think about the safety relays compared to the safety PLC, of course, the main difference is the flexibility and the price, right? There's some advantage, disadvantage. So the PNOZmulti 2 is sit in between. You get a lot of flexibility from having the software configuration for your safety control system. You can expand, you can select what you want to use. And the wiring wise is a lot simpler. You can just plug it in any location that you design, and then you can reprogram it to go to the different location device that you need it. When you compare to the safety relays, of course, everything is hardwired, so it's a little bit more difficult when you want to change the safety function, if you want to change the output, something and so on. Okay. Then, if you talk about the communication, so a lot of times what I have seen in the past, and even nowadays, each machine, they usually separate the control system automation side and the safety control system on the safety side. So usually the machine will come with the standard PLC, okay? And what PNOZmulti 2 can be used is to use for the particularly control the safety component, safety control system of the machine. So you have two separate entity, and it's less of the issues. You can do some interface using this different communication protocol. Okay, because sometimes you want to pass along the information to be displayed on the HMI using the PLC. So this is the capability of the safety small controller. Okay. In the product line at the moment, we have a few of them. You can see on the right-hand side here. So all of these are small safety controller. Okay, but different versions have different features. The one that we have first here is the PNOZ MC0. Okay, it's a compact version. It's a standalone. You cannot expand anything with this, but we provide these products for those machines with the simple safety function required. So maybe you only need an e-stop, light curtain, or e-stop and interlocking guard, something along that line. Okay, then you have a little bit bigger version. Okay, and this is the original version actually that we have for the generation 2, which is the PNOZ MB0. So this comes with some 20 inputs for semiconductor output. So they are safety output, safety input. Okay, and you have a capability of expanding the I/O module, 6 of them. Okay, so there's various products here. I will go through one by one, but maybe go through it quickly. As I mentioned earlier, today we are focusing on the software that gonna program for this device. Okay. So this table here, which will be shared to you later on after the session, show the difference between each module. So we have MC0, how many safety input, how many safety output, what type of input output is available. And then you have MB0.1. These two products are quite new. Okay, mainly we want to allow many of the OEM or many of the customer to start using them. It has a very nice price for that. Of course, with that, you might have lesser capability to expand the I/O. So, but it will fit your machine if you only need a few safety function. Okay, so this list shows difference between each modules. Okay, so we have MC0, MB0.1, MB0, and MB1. Okay, so this is the advanced PNOZmulti in generation 2. Okay. Now this is so we start off with the base unit. Of course, before you can expand anything, you need the processor, you need the base unit. So this is the MB0, the original, the first generation 2 safety small controller. Okay, so all of these products, as mentioned, can achieve the maximum of PLE or CO3. Yeah, and then you have ability to do the program your safety function, as well as doing some diagnostic. Okay, so for these modules, you have a little LCD screen where you can set it up or showing some message for diagnostic, and then you have a control, the red knob right there to control the LCD screen, and you have a mini USB port where you can plug it in, you can diagnostic with your computer, or you can do the programming, download, uploading. Okay, so the other products, the MB1, the face looks a little bit different. This one has a higher or faster speed of processing, and that's why it can expand a lot more I/O compared to the MB0. Okay, in this one, the benefit of the MB1 is it comes with the two Ethernet interface, so you don't need to buy additional Ethernet communication modules. You can have it right here. Of course, you need to have some extended I/O for this, because it's by itself it's only come with the test pulse, and of course the diagnostic and the communication modules. Okay, so for the bigger machine, this is going to be the interesting products for the machine. Then we have one of the specialty PNOZmulti MB1 burner. So this one focus exclusively on the burner management system. Of course, you can use this for the other safety function as well, but this one is certified to be used for the burner application. So when you program this device, then you have that additional library for the burner management system available. Okay, but it has to be this module only if you want to use for the burner application. Okay. Then we have MB0.1. So this is the simplified version of MB0. So you can expand maximum of one I/O modules, but the communication side, like the different protocol, is the same as MB0. Okay. Then the last and the latest one is the MC0, PNOS MC0. This one right here. So of course, you don't have the same diagnostic capability. There's no LCD screen. We want to make it very competitive price with the features that you may need for the small machine. So this is where this unit come in. And today we're going to be showing this unit in our live demo. Okay. Of course, even though you have a smaller unit, but you can still achieve the PLE or CO3, depending on how you configure your safety control system. Okay. Now let's come to the focus point of this webinar, and hopefully you may have get a chance to download the program that we sent out during the invitation. Okay, so you can try it along with us today. Okay, so for those who have not get a chance to download the programs, our latest PNOZmulti Configurator version 11 well, right now it's .3.1. You can download that for free. You can go to our website, pews.com, and then slash PNOZmulti dash tools, and you can download it from there. You may have to register an eShop account first. It's free. You can register that, and then you can download it from there. Okay. Now, let me introduce a little bit about the software itself. So software PNOZmulti Configurator, it is used to configure, of course, the PNOZmulti hardware. We have the older version and the newer version. The older version, it is used for the classics version, the generation 1. So that product is already phased out. So right now, everybody gonna get the PNOZmulti Generation 2 when they order through our website. Okay. The software itself support multiple language, and in this region, usually we use English as the main one. Yeah. And it's allow you to do the easy hardware configuration, which I will show you later on. And also you can have a feature of doing the simple diagnostic. Okay, so this will help you to reduce a lot of timing on your engineering. Okay, you may think that it need more times compared to the safety relays, but after you look at the program today with us, then you may change your mind. Okay, so with the PNOZmulti Configurator, it comes with the certified safety function blocks, as you can see here. So all these are certified to be used for the safety function. You can see the common safety functions such as the emergency stop, safety gate, light curtain, and so on. Then you also have the different logics elements where you can do the and/or logic, allow you more flexibility when you compare to the safety relays. And it's easier if you need to do some modification in the logic itself. Okay. Then we also have a simulation that you can do the testing your logic first before you do commissioning, so that will help you save some time, figure out if there is any error in the logic or in the programs before you go on site to do installing. Or you can also do this to check that you have sufficient hardware component, for example. Okay, So the simulation, of course, you can do it offline, and also we can do the online diagnostic. That's another features with this software. Okay. Uh, Quickly mention about the previous version that I mentioned earlier, that it is used for the older generation of PNOZmulti, and it's also work with the PNOZmulti 2, but with this version, the 10.14 long-term support version, it will not have any more updates, and no new features will be provided for the PNOZmulti 2. Okay, so those who have used this program before, you can still keep them in your computer, right? Because you will need this version to access the PNOZmulti Classics. Okay, and then for the PNOZmulti 2, then you can start using the new version, version 11, okay, which come with all the new features. So if you have purchased this license, the new one, the new version, version 11, now it is free. You can access that for free. Okay, and you get the full function like you have, or actually even more in this version for the European Osmotic 2. Okay, so let's have a look at some new features. Okay, so now the program has been redesigned for the Windows 64-bit. So unfortunately, we support only the Windows. But now, because a lot of laptops nowadays is 64-bit, so we changed the architecture to improve our software to suitable to the modern laptops, okay, or computers. You can do all the editing, creating PNOZmulti 2 projects. As I mentioned, this is mainly for the PNOZmulti 2 generation 2 hardware. Okay, so it will not work for those the older the PNOZmulti Classics or PNOZmulti Mini, for example. Okay, then each different sub version. So we have start with the 11, then 11.0, then 11.2.3. Now at the moment, each revision they have additional features added to the software, and it is for free. So in version 11.2, then we start to provide some function about safe access and restart management. So that's one of the products that we have, the Kit Reader. Okay. More information can be found from our website, of course, with the different products. Then we have you can start using the MC0 with this version. So there's some requirement for that to have a security key, which you will see in a moment. Okay. And of course, more hardware coming in and more feature will be added to the software. Okay, so our latest new version is 11.3. Okay, so now we have a new products, the FSOE EtherCAT. So with this new version, you can it will support the hardware that come with it. So if you're using the old version, you can update to the new version for free, of course, and then uh, you can use the new hardware along with it as well. If you're still using the same hardware, there's no need for you to update it. But sometimes we do have some feature improvement, so you can update it as you like. Okay. But if you purchase some new products, you can have a look at the README files that maybe, okay, why does not work in the version that I have? Then maybe because there's a newer version where the product's going to be supported. Okay. This is some difference between the two version, the legacy version and the current version, version 11. So one thing that we would like to mention, in case because there's an older products, PNOZmulti Classics, PNOZmulti Mini, right? Um, if you want to purchase those hardware, it may not be available because it's obsolete. So you can check with us regarding that. However, we would recommend you to do the migration to the newer version. Okay, so to generation 2. And with this software, both of them, they have a different migration options. But with the legacy version, you can migrate the classics to the generation 2. And it depends on how complicated your program is. Sometimes you can migrate the entire thing without have to do anything. Of course, you have to do rewiring a little bit, but that will help you save a lot of engineering times, right? And it will tell you how much, what are the components you needed for the migration. Okay. Anyway, if you have any question regarding migration, please feel free to contact us. We can provide some suggestion, recommendation, and help you to do the migration. Okay. Now let's have a look at the main event for today, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're gonna go create a very basic safety control system programs using the PNOZmulti Configurator. Okay, so what we have here is we have our PNOZ MC0. Okay, so that's the safety small controller. Small safety controller, and we will have some safety component connected to it. So we have an emergency stop. Okay, we have a reset button. We have a safety switch, and we will have for the output the magnetic contactor. Okay, this is what the program gonna look like. Okay, very simple one. We just want to show you how, and some I/O list which you can have a look at it later. So let me switch over to the program itself. Hi, Grace. Is there any questions so far from the attendees?
Hi, Ben. Just one. They are asking how to program MC0, but I told them that you will show them
Oh, okay.
later. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they mentioned that they cannot see the port. So maybe later you can show the hardware as well.
The port. Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Just thank you very much, Grace. Just let me know if you can see the screen now.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. Thank you very much. So when you open up the software, PNOZmulti Configurator, this is what you're gonna see. So there's some pop-ups. You can click to read what is new in this latest version. But if you don't want to have it show up all the time, you can just close it. Okay. Then you will present it with this screen as the first time you open it. So this is under the hardware configuration. Then you have two tabs here, one for user programs, one for the hardware configuration. So for the hardware configuration, you have the option of the PNOZmulti Generation 2, where you can select it and start configure your hardware components. Okay. Today we're gonna go to the MC0. So what you can do is you can double click at this list, or you can drag and drop from the list. Okay, of course you can only have one base unit. Okay, so whichever base unit you choose, it will show you the option that you have on this very nice GUI on the screen. So with the different base unit, you have different option of the hardware. As you can see the list on the left-hand side here, if you use the basic standalone unit, the compact one, MC0, you only have the unit itself with the integrated I/O. Okay, but if you use something like MB0, okay, so that's our standard safety controller. You have the option of selecting the communication modules. You have option of different I/Os. Okay, and it will show you what uh, what are the modules this hardware is supported. So some of the features or some of the hardware, it will be available on some module, not the other. So this is also help you to check which module you can use. Okay. before you order the hardware component. So let's say that if you select MB1, for example, then you have some control connected device that you can use, the HMI or the PID reader for the access management system application that we have. You can have the different, maybe the safety analog input, for example. What you can do to test it, you can either double click on the list or you can drag and drop where you would like. Okay. So maybe you want to position it differently. You can do that arrangement here. All the I/O module is going to be expand on the right hand side of the base unit. And if you have communication modules, it's going to be expand to the left hand side of the unit. Okay. So here, this is where you select your hardware components. There's some additional information. So there's some guidance here. Okay, on the top, when you do something, it will tell you what you can do or if there any error about it. Then you can see the whole list of your hardware below, right here. This is going to be the name. You can do also configure the name according to your schematic, right? Let's say that's main, or you can usually we go for A1, A2, A3. Okay. It will show you the number of I/O that you have. Okay. This seem a lot because this is the communication modules. Okay. So usually what you have here, the description of the hardware itself will already tell you a little bit about the hardware, what kind of I/O have. For example, the 4DI is 4 digital input, and 4DOR is the safety output relays. Okay, so sometimes you have the older version of the hardware, so you can select the older version. For example, like this. Okay, so it depends on your hardware firmware. Then you might have some features that available or not available. So if you just recently purchased the hardware, just choose the latest one. Okay, or have a look at your hardware itself for that, and you can select the one that you have. Okay. Then for those who does not have anything more than version 1.0, there's no, even though you have a higher version of the hardware, it's not affected to the software. Okay, so you can just pick that one. Then on the left side below, when you select the hardware component, it provides you a brief information about the hardware unit. So the name, the part number, and all the details about the hardware itself, the brief version of it. But you can also always download the operation manual for each device from our eShop from our website. Okay, now let's get to the programming today. So what we're gonna use today is, okay, this is just show me that when I gonna switch to this new hardware, the MC0, there's gonna be some hardware not available, cannot be used, for example. Then what I can do is I can either create a new list or just delete them and then just replace it. Okay, now it should be okay. Now, this is going to be our hardware for today. Next is we're going to look at the user program. So when you click on the tab next to it, this is where you see all the programming interface. On the left-hand side, you have the list of the hardware itself and the programs, so you can create multiple pages. But today we're going to keep it simple, just a single page, single channel architecture of the software. Okay, so the right-hand side is where you get all the function elements, the safety function block that you can use. Okay, so the different version, different function is available here. Output, input, for example. The layout is defined in a way where the left side is the input. In between, there are the logics or the different safety or the different functions available. and on the right side is the output. So it kind of gives you the flow of the program's input. You do some processing of the information that you receive, then you send it to the output. Okay. What did we have? If you remember our programs, let me switch back to the program a little bit. So you can see that we have one emergency stop, one reset push button, safety switch, and a magnetic contactor. Okay, so with this program right here, you can drag and drop the safety block. Okay, when you put in the position, it will ask you what type of the contacts or what switch type you have. Okay, so with today we're gonna go with the just single NC contact. Which port that you want, which channel you want to use it. Okay, so what did I have? I have it in the IM0. Okay, so that's the safety input with the option of changing it to the standard output. Okay, so we use IM0 here. Then you can set right here as well in the next tab where you want it to have it start automatically, or you want to have it monitor start or manual start. So the other way to interpret this is the reset function of this safety function. Okay, so it gives you a different icons show how it will work. Okay, I will not go into detail on this. And then you have the last tab where you can put some description, EM emergency 1 or something like that for you to keep track of your programs. Because, of course, in real life, you don't only have one component or two components, right? Okay, so when you press OK, you will the function block will shows up. Okay, so you have one channel connected to this safety function block, which is a single NC context with the auto start or auto reset. Okay, then what else do we have? Let's have a look at. We have the safety switch. Okay, and of course we have to define what kind of safety function we have. Let's just say for this case, we want to press the emergency stop, the machine stop, right? Or we want to open the guard and then machine stop. So we want to add one more, the safety switch. As I mentioned, you can drag and drop. You can see that if it is in the position where it cannot be placed, it will show you the little icon there. But if you can place it there, it will have a little square with the plus sign on it. Okay. The other option, which I prefer, you can just double click on the box, and then it will show you what kind of function block you can use for this particular area. Okay. So we can select the safety gates. Then, of course, we're gonna go for the single contact NC. But as you can see here, you have various options available. Okay, so let me check quickly. So that one go to I2. So it can be anything, depending on how you decide it. So, but I just gonna do it the same as the slide shows. Okay, then once again, we can set this. Yeah. And then let's just say it all switch 1. Okay. Then we mentioned that we're gonna press E-stop or open the guard. The output has to be off. The machine has to come to the stop, right? So what we need is I just double click there and click on the AND gates. Okay. With the AND gates, you have option to put up to 5 inputs. Right now we only need 2, so we select 2. Okay. Next, how we gonna connect this? Actually, let's continue on with the output first. So we want to output to de-energize or energize the magnetic contactor. So what kind of output do we have? Because this is a MC0 unit, so we only have a semiconductor output, but you can also use that semiconductor output for special function for the safety valve. But we're just gonna use it for semiconductor output. Okay, Then when you select the output, you have a few options. Okay, you can use as a safety related output, or you can use output for standard function, which you have some option here that you can choose. The selection is dynamic, so whichever you switch, it will provide you the function that it is able allow you to do. So we want just a single channel output. Okay, so there's a few options there. We don't want to use feedback loop, do we? Oh yeah, we don't use it at the moment. Then we want to select the output port. So this unit, it will show you what is available, and if you use it already, let's say that you use that the output 2 all output 0, so all 0. Then this is what is it, the K1. So if you use output 0 and you want to have another output, one good thing is it will not allow you to select it anymore because it's already used. Okay, so you will not be able to make a mistake from there. Okay. Now, how do we connect this, the input to the output and having a logic between? So you can see the red square here, right? This is showing that there's no connection here. And what you can do is you click with the left mouse, click and hold, and then you can drag that connection to the next one. Okay. If there is any connection that cannot be connected, it will show you that you cannot connect. So this one you can. So what it does here, so if you open the card, it will be, this output can be off. If you close, then it will be on. Okay, we can click on this green block box like right here, and then the line will be highlight, and you can just press delete on your keyboard to remove it if you mistakenly connect to that. So again, we click on the red box and then drag the mouse and drop to the location where we want. Okay, same thing with the output. So now this is the program that we have. Okay, very simple, very quick to do. Of course, I'm explaining as I go, but if you already know what you want to use, then it is very simple. If you want to add more features, more component, you can do that as well. Okay. Now, one features here, just to keep you organized, is there's a little icon here. So it's called assignment list. So if you click on it, you can select the equipment that you have. Okay. Then it will show you which I/O is used, not used. And if you put some information here, you can keep track of what is that channel is used for. For example, I use for the emergency stop. I use for the safety door. I use for the magnetic contactor. So I can put that. When you start using it for the dual channel, then of course you have a lot more. And this is also very helpful if you have someone decide the wiring already. You just have to pick it when you select the component. Okay. Now, once you have the program, any questions so far? No question? Okay. All right. Well, next, what we're going to do first, we have to save the project. Okay. So you can just click on Save As, and then it will ask you PNOZmulti Configurator because it's safety. For safety purposes, you need to prevent unauthorized access, right? So you can select, you can fill in your password, level 1, level 2, level 3. There's more detail about that, but not important at the moment. So you can just put your password there first, and then click OK. Then it will ask where you want to save this, what's the name, and I just gonna put in this folder, and I just say live demo test. Okay. So once I save this, now I have the program saved on my computer. Okay. And just gonna quickly show you the simulation version. Function, which is this little bug right here. So if you want to do simulation, you can click it from here, or of course, a lot of our features is also available on the top menu. Okay, so the same thing. So right now we're doing some simulation. So first you can see that the green color is showing the live signal. So there's, let's say if you look into the electrical components, then there's 24 volts coming in and going out. Okay. Now, to start the simulation, you have to come down here and press start the play button. Yeah. And now the simulation begins. Yeah. Right now, the speed is set into 50%, so it's going to be a lot slower than the real life. And of course, because in real life, everything go very fast. So we want to slow it down so we can see the respawn from our simulation. Okay, so you can see I can just click on the input and it will show on and off, right? You can see on and off. Okay, so this will show you if you have the right logic. So of course, with the AND gate, it's very simple. If you start using the, the flip-flop, the set logic, then RS flip-flop, the set logic and reset logic, then it's gonna start be a little bit more complicated. Okay, so this is our simulation function available in the version 11, of course, and you can do that before you actually finalize commissioning to save you some time. Okay, now I have this program written, or actually I think it was the monitor reset. Okay, so let me add that in. So in our example, I may have forget that we have the reset button. Okay, so what you can do is this is the easy part of the software component, right? I mean the program capability.
Hi, Ben.
Yes, Grace.
Yes, I think someone has a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you are unmute already. You can speak. Eh, no, just give me a minute.
Yeah.
Allow mic. Yep. 2DTP. I'm not sure. Your mic is enabled, so you can actually speak. You can
Yeah.
unmute
Go ahead.
yourself.
Or if you're not comfortable with speaking, then you can also type in the chat as well, and I will respond the question.
Yeah. Okay. He raised his hand, so yeah. If you have a question, you can type in the chat box or Q&A tab.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
Grace already allow you to unmute your mic, so you can do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. In the meantime, it will continue. But if you have it, Grace, you can help monitor the question. If the question comes, just let me know. Okay, because it might
Yes.
related to the part that I'm talking now. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Thank you. All right, let's continue. So what I forgot was that each of these safety functions should have a reset function. Okay, so with the software, very simple. You just double click on it. You select the start tab, then you choose the monitor start, for example. And of course, you have to select the right port for that. And I use i7 for that. So it can be different one, of course, as I mentioned. So when I click on that, have a look at this first. So this is the play button for the automatic start or automatic reset. So you click OK, then the icon change, and also it received the input from there as well. Okay. Now we do the same for safety gates, the our doors safety door. but I want to show you a little bit difference between the two reset functions. So this is the previous one is the monitor, and the new one is manual. Okay, let's put on that. Oh, okay. For the reset button, for example, okay, because it's different. Sorry, my bad. For the reset button, or the input, safety input, some of them can be reused. Okay, you can see that there's a little um, asterisk here that I can that show that this I input already used, but you can reuse them. Okay, if the input channel cannot be reused, then it will not show here. Okay, so we reuse the same reset button here. Now, then, so if we just, let's say first, if we quickly go to the simulation, I can show you the difference. Okay. Now, previously when we start the program, start the simulation, everything is green, right? So now you can see that even though the emergency stop is not pressed, you need to perform a reset before you can before the output can be shown here. Okay, so with this monitor reset, you press on it. The below is the manual, right? So when you press on the manual reset, the output already come out green. Okay, this one is not green because it's blocked by an logic. Okay, then for the monitor reset, then you need to trigger this uh, loop right here. So you have to rising edge, falling edge. Then when you release your finger from your push button, then it will be green. Okay, and that's the difference between the two reset or two start function. Okay, now hopefully that give you some ideas of the how easy it is to test your programs, how easy it is to change if you forget something compared to the hard wiring that you have to do. All right. Now let's have a look at because I already created programs for this. We're gonna have a look at the live demo. Okay. So let me quickly switch the camera and talk a little bit about the demo itself. Okay. So this is our simplified version of the demo. So you can see here MC0. Okay. We have electromechanical safety switch. Sorry, mechanical safety switch here. We have emergency stop here, and then we have a reset button here. This green LED is the light indicators showing the output from the magnetic contactor. Okay, so just to quickly show, there was another person asked where to connect the cables to the MC0, right? So just to quickly show, so for the MC0, you have the mini USB connection on the top. Okay, because MB0 and MB0.1 and MB1, every interface port is in the front. Okay, so this one is on the top, and there's a little slot for your chip card where you keep all the program and the memories. Okay, right here. Now let me put it back. Okay, so MC0 itself is very compact, so it has this just 4 terminals. Then the diagnostic capability from the hardware itself, you have some LED indicating the status of the input, the output, and the status of the controller itself. Okay. Now, what did we have in our programs? We have the safety function that, let's say, if we press the emergency stop, then the output is off, or if we open the guard, the output is off. Okay, so let's try that with this program. So when I press emergency stop, you can might be a bit too quick. There's some change here because the output now is not energized. The LED is off. Magnetic is off. Okay, so let's say if I want to reset it, nothing can happen because the emergency stop is still pressed. Okay, if you release it, okay, the output is still not on because we use the monitor reset. So you need to perform a reset first before the circuit will come back to normal. Okay. Um, if we set this as automatic reset, then the output should come out already. Okay. Now we reset. So if you remember, we talked about the manual and the monitor reset. So this one is set as monitor. So if you press 1, nothing happened. Okay. So if you release it, now the output is on again. Okay. Same thing with the safety switch. So if you open the guard, for example, the output is off immediately. Okay. You cannot reset anything. Now, if you close the guard, the signal of the input is on, of course, but the output is not on until you reset. Okay, so that's the program that we just created. Yes, so it's already past the time. My apologies, but I would like to show you just one more thing about the diagnostic part. Let me see if I can do that now. So I left the camera open here, okay, and let me run the program. So when you are connected to the USB cable, you can go online from your laptop. Of course, you have to have the program provided. Okay. So mentioned earlier, I mentioned about the security for the MC0, which is required by the standard. So this is prevent anyone from accessing your hardware itself. So we have this. Then right now you are connected, but you want to see a live signal, right? So there's a little icon here, show dynamic program display, or you can choose it from here as well. Okay. When you click on it, it will link to your hardware and it will show you the status of the hardware itself live. Okay, there's some LED status in below, and you can see if I press the emergency stop, it will show up on the screen right here. So this provides you capability to do a simple diagnostic. If I press e-stop, why the output is not on? Because of this e-stop is pressed, right? Or even open the guards. So it might look simple at the moment. Let's say you have 50 guards, for example, then this will help reduce a lot of downtime for your machine when there's an error. Okay. Also, if you need, there's a error message features where it will explain to you what could have went wrong in description. So you can double click on it, and sometimes it provide you, depend on the error, you can have this as a diagnostic features allow you to resolve your issues, or you can also send this information to our tech support so we can help you with that more explanation or diagnostic for that. Okay, and that is pretty much all for the programmings and the live demo. So if you have any question, please feel free to put in the chat or the Q&A,